Hi guys, my name is Lily and I am a college student, specifically a freshman at college who struggles with GAD, which if you're not aware is generalized anxiety disorder. I also have some notes on my phone so you might see me kind of looking over at it. This video is just going to be kind of talking about like what helps me with my anxiety, and this is not to glorify or dwell on anxiety, this is more moving past anxiety, and I'm just sharing some tips and tricks on how I move past it. Like I said, I have some notes on here. I'm literally filming this on my iPad, and so the quality is a little bit different than what you guys normally see. I have just been really moved, and I feel like I've been praying to God like lately to be like, okay, help me with my anxiety, help me to where I can be aware and share this with other people on the internet, because I struggle so badly and I don't really see any other people on social media truthfully and honestly talk about their anxiety or their mental health struggles. You guys know I'm very open and vulnerable in all of my videos. I don't hide anything. Obviously I don't overshare, I don't like trauma dump, but I don't hide anything. Like I just share what I'm feeling in the moment, and so this has really been heavy on my heart to talk about it. So like I said, I have my phone for some notes. You might see me looking over here a little bit. Just a little note, anxiety, no matter what kind you have, does not define you. Whether you diagnose, whether you just struggle with it like everybody does, it does not define you. Your mental health does not define you. There's so many different ways that you can move past your mental health struggles. You just have to figure out what works best for you. I'm going to specifically talk about GAD because it is an anxiety disorder, and that's kind of going to be the main topic of this video, but this video also appeals to anybody who has anxiety. I'm just also focusing on what I know and what I'm diagnosed with, so take what you want. I'm not a therapist, I'm not licensed. This is just someone who's been living with anxiety since they were in preschool. You heard that right, preschool. Literally young child living with anxiety. So believe me, I'm experienced in this field. So kind of what my GAD looks like is it's just constant anxiety, constant worrying, even when stuff is okay, even when nothing intense or crazy is going on in my day. My brain always finds something to worry about, even when there really is nothing to worry about. Does that make sense? My brain kind of likes to make stuff up. I also experienced many physical symptoms. I experienced like tight chest pains, nausea, shakiness, trembling, very intense sweating, and also my thoughts just race. Some scenarios where my anxiety is the worst is like my chemistry labs. Labs are so unpredictable, and also they just take so long. I don't like time restraints, so like if I only have an hour to do something, that stresses me out. And if it's like a hot environment, if I don't feel safe with the teacher or the people around me, like I don't know anybody well or I just don't trust people, those are big triggers for me. Like I said before, I'm not a doctor, I'm not licensed. This is just my personal experience as someone who struggled with it for so long. I just want to share how I've been going through it and also how I kind of work through some things. So I've been to 4 different therapists since I was 13 years old because my parents thought I was too young to go on medication. It also just wasn't recommended for my age to go on medication so young. Now my mom's side of the family does have a history of mental health illnesses, so this is kind of well known when I was starting to get anxious and depressed that it kind of runs in my family, so we already knew that just from my mother's history alone. And so they started putting me in therapy because I struggled with anxiety so bad my entire life. I was always in the counselor's office all the way back to even like elementary school, like literally like kindergarten, first grade. I was always in the counselor's office. Like it's always been bad for me. People thought I was like special or something, but I low-key just had really bad anxiety even as a little kid. So I want to briefly talk about the medications I am on because I have went to 4 different therapists like I stated, and nothing has worked for me quite like medicine has. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Every single person's experience with anxiety and mental health struggles is different, but for me personally, nothing has worked better than being on medication. I'm still anxious, I'm still a normal person, but my anxiety is more manageable. Obviously there's moments where it's not, but like I can figure out how to get through that because of my therapy and what I've been taught in therapy. The main thing that I was taught in therapy is to like look at the 5 things around you, like 5 things you see, 4 things you smell. You can mix the numbers around with the words, but you know what I mean? You just kind of need to ground yourself in your situations, because my anxiety is the worst when I have a panic attack or I'm in a situation I don't feel comfortable in. My anxiety starts acting up and then I feel like I have to escape. My body goes into like fight or flight, and my body's just like, we have to get out of the situation, we have to escape, which you can't really do in college because like you have to do what you have to do. So the medications I'm on are 75 milligrams of Zoloft, and then I have like I think 10 milligrams of propranolol, which is just like quick anxiety medication for when you're feeling really overwhelmed. You just pop one in your mouth. I take 2 pills of Zoloft per night, so I take them every single night. They're supposed to make you sleepy, and they did when I first started taking them, but like now I'm so used to them, my body like doesn't really get tired anymore. My anxiety gets the worst at nighttime, so that's why I take them at night, is because that's when my anxiety is like, my mind's racing, my body is kind of going crazy, always the night before when I have to go to sleep. I also had a lot of problems sleeping when I had really bad anxiety with no medication and I was just in therapy. My prescriber recommended I start taking them at night because that's when my anxiety is the worst, whenever I'm trying to go sleep. My mind's just racing, it doesn't want to let me rest. I always say I'm always fighting my mind. That's what I always tell people, because it's quite literally a fight. Because sometimes there's nothing to be nervous about, there's nothing to freak out about, but your mind is telling you there is something to freak out about, you just don't know what it is. So overall, it's just very anxiety inducing to kind of fight yourself, and it's just rough. What I noticed symptom-wise was kind of helped when I got on my medication is I was able to not feel as anxious constantly. I was constantly on edge, constantly anxious, even in like normal situations, even with my own family. I noticed that decreased immensely. Like literally like an hour after I take my medicine, even now, like I'm so calm, I'm so chill. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. This is like never what I feel like. I love it. I love it. You know, I also shake really badly when I get anxious. Like I go like that, kind of like I'm trembling. I've also noticed when I'm anxious now, I kind of go like that. So it's not like this, it's like that. So the shaking has reduced. I don't cry as intensely as I used to when I have my panic attacks. So when I have panic attacks, I break down sobbing. I'm like, you know, I can't catch my breath. I'm kind of like a little kid again. I have to find someone to calm down. I don't cry as, I can hold my tears back. I never used to be able to. I can now kind of control myself when I feel those tears and those thoughts coming on when I just take my medication. The medication lasts you 24 hours, so also that's why my anxiety is so bad at night, is because my body is going, where's my medicine? Like where's my medicine at? It's time. So whenever I don't take it for a night, I can feel the anxiety the next day automatically. So it's very bad to skip a night because you're just kind of going like cold turkey, which is not very good for your body. I'm also going to talk about some of the bad things I have noticed, because there's always positives and negatives with any kind of medication. So this is my first ever medication, like, you know what I'm saying? I noticed weight gain like within like 6 months, and this is a normal side effect. This is not bad. I have always just weighed the same weight my entire life, and so I started to notice I was putting on weight even when I was like eating the same I typically do. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting fat. You know, like your mind just changes everything. Something else I've also noticed is I sweat so bad. I never used to sweat horribly, just sweat like your normal person amount. Now if I wear a coat for like a minute, I'm pouring down sweat. Like I get hot so easily. It's like not even funny how hot I get. Like I start sweating, and it's like, dude, come on. I started out at 25 milligrams, but over time it's went up 25. I've been on it a year. I started in like October 2024, so it's gonna be 2 years this upcoming fall that I've been on my Zoloft. I love it. It works really, really good for me, but also, like I said, medication's different for everybody. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder when I was 13 years old, so I was pretty young when I was diagnosed with it. That's when I first got sent to therapy, because you have to have some kind of qualification, some kind of disorder to get sent to therapy in the first place. The pediatrician was like, holy crap, she's a nervous wreck. Medication has given me more mental calmness and more mental space, but I still am the same person I always am. I'm on a good enough dose where I still feel mentally calm, but I'm still myself. I'm not like a robot like a lot of people think you are when you go on medication. I'm still myself. Yes, I can be more dulled down when I take my propranolol. You know, I can be kind of more chill, but I've always been a high-strung, anxious person, so I'm always, you know, I'm still me. The medication hasn't made me like a zombie or anything cray. The next thing I want to talk about is how I get through anxiety episodes. So this is going to be kind of hard for me to talk about just because you can see me like getting more like comfortable and more like safe feeling. So when I feel anxiety coming on, I like to pray. I know not everybody's religious, but I like to close my eyes and go, God, this is in your hands. I trust you. I love you. I know you know what's going to happen. I put this completely in your hands. Even if that means the situation that follows doesn't go well, I know there's a reason for it. I use my faith to ground me a lot. When I feel really anxious and I'm having like a breakdown or I'm nervous, whatever's going on, I just kind of look around me. I feel things. I'm like, okay, feel your shirt, kind of grounds you. You know, like I like to touch cold stuff when I feel really, really nervous. So I'll touch like the counter, you know, my water bottle. I'll find something cold to cool my body down, because usually I'm very hot when I'm having an anxiety episode. I also like to move around and ground myself, so I'll put my feet on the ground and kind of just like look around me. I also like to do the 5 things you see, 4 things you smell, 3 things, you know, whatever. There's like a list. I'll put a picture of it because I don't remember exactly how to say it, but I know it. Does that make sense? I also like to take deep breaths, go like, I like to close my eyes for a second and ground myself and just do some breathing exercises. I do not text people. I do not reach out. For some reason, calling my parents, texting my parents, anything with my loved ones, because I want them in that moment, it makes me freak out more. I don't know what the mentality or the psychological thing behind that is, but I just freak out so bad. So I have to take care of it myself. I actually did have an anxiety episode one time during a chem lab. This happened about a week ago. I did have a breakdown in the lab, started crying, almost had a panic attack, but I had to use my techniques. I touched something cold. I felt my lab coat to calm myself down. I kind of moved around. I closed my eyes and I was breathing to calm myself down. I started crying, but I was like, okay, you got this. Take a deep breath. You have to get through this. You can do it. And I just kind of used positive self-talk to also get myself through that. So as someone who is in college, I want to briefly talk about how I manage it in college because I live on my own. So I had a roommate, it didn't work out, and so I said I have generalized anxiety disorder. I like to live on my own. I prefer my own space because of my anxiety. That's what happened. Like, this is my own space. Like, there's nobody else that lives with me. This bunk is vacant. This is just for people when they sleep over, like my mom or my dad or a friend or whatever. So I also emailed my professors, like in my chem lab, I emailed my chem professor and told him of my anxiety, informed him of my condition, and said, hey, I have really bad anxiety, so I might need to step out for a second. I also am currently in contact with the disability services for my college and also my primary doctor to getting a form filled out for my anxiety disorder so people are aware of it, like my teachers are when the new semester starts. So if I have an anxiety episode, if I need to take a step out, whatever, they are aware of it, because there's nothing wrong with advocating for yourself, because I don't want to be put in a situation where I'm judged for my anxiety or I feel uncomfortable because I have anxiety. It's not a part of me, you know what I mean? Like, I have it, but obviously I'm more than just my anxiety. So I just really make sure to have self-care nights. I call my parents whenever I need to, and whenever I feel myself getting stressed out, I watch YouTube, I pray, or I play Roblox. Roblox is a very good stressor help for me. Like, it helps me calm down. I have no idea why, but it does. Anxiety has taught me to just be more emotionally aware of other people, because you never know what someone's going through. They can mask it very, very well. I have moments where I can mask my anxiety super well, and there's sometimes I really can't. So you never know what someone's going through. So it's kind of taught me to just be very well aware of other people, and also just to treat everybody with kindness, because I am nervous. Other people have stuff they're nervous about and other mental struggles and just stuff going on in their lives. It's just taught me to be more, self-aware of other people and also myself and how I'm coming off to people. And it also made me realize how strong I am. Like, I have went through so many anxiety episodes, so many panic attacks, and I'm still staying strong. I'm still me, which is just such a big praise in itself. Before I end this video, I want to let you guys know that you are totally okay to advocate for yourself. You are allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to have medication. You're allowed to go to therapy. Progress is not linear. It's an up and down roller coaster, upside down slope. It's always going. You never know. It's not a straight line. Healing and progress is all over the place. And it's okay to have some days where you struggle, whereas some days you're perfectly fine. But I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this more personal video. If you guys want more like this or breaking some stuff down a little bit more, please comment down below. But I love you guys. Bye.